I want to talk about the Empire. I'm fascinated by, and I actually am a Sydney Uni fan. I think that what they've done is amazing. So let me just preface that I'm a Sydney Uni fan. I think everyone should make the most of the resources that they have, and if you're not doing it, you should be. But they've been incredibly successful, and I want to talk about that. How do you look back on 2022? How do you reflect on it? Yeah, how do you reflect on it? I mean, Shute Shield was wild this year.
Oh, well, the season itself to begin with. And it was my first year ever coaching in the Shute Shield. So I haven't got anything to compare it to, but
that was year 16 for me, and it was the craziest.
Yeah, and that's what everyone said. In living memory, they couldn't believe a season where everything was so close. Like I remember looking at results from the rounds, and there might be one outlier where the margin was 11 points. Every other game was under 7 points. Like it's just crazy. And that didn't happen once. That happened consistently. So, West Harbour were coming last when they beat Manly, who were coming first. All that sort of stuff. I'm just really glad I was a part of it. And it'll be a season that's spoken about for a long time. And yeah, for me to have experienced it was fantastic. And I think you pray for more competitions to be like that, because it makes it all so much more interesting. Every Saturday you know what you're up for. So that the actual competition, was massive. And then the experience with Sydney Uni, for me coming in as an outsider, I'd never played there. Like yourself, I'd been an admirer. I had good mates who had coached there. Anthony Eddy is a good friend. Damien Hill, another good mate who coached there and had success there. And I always admired what they'd been able to do. But to go into Sydney University, it's not that you want to prove yourself, but you want to show that you're worthy of that sort of position. So I just try to go in there as organised as possible, did as much research as I could on the playing group. I was lucky enough, there's a very good leadership group, and I had some really good conversations with them before I got down there in front of everyone. So I thought I had a fairly good feel for the group before I even started. And then, what I did is I spent a bit of time just observing, how do these guys operate? Where can I value add? As I said before, in my philosophy, is like I want it to be a good environment and I want to make people better. Well, I had to sort of observe for a little while in order to.
How'd you do that? Was that at the start of like that November block?
Yeah, I think because Sydney came out of lockdown about mid-October. I think we were due to start the first week of November, but all the boys, because they've been locked up, everyone just wanted to get out and at least get into the gym. So I think we ended up starting maybe the last week of October. We actually jumped on field and did a few things. That's when I first got down to Sydney. What I did was I just kept everything basic to begin with. And Sydney Uni are very big on, at that time of the year, everyone's training together. Thirds, Colts, third grade, first grade, everyone's in one big group. So, I spent a bit of time just observing for probably the first 3 weeks, and then started thinking, okay, what are the big rocks that we need to install before Christmas?
What were the big rocks?
For me, your big rocks are always your general play attack and your general play defence, because line-outs, scrums, your set-piece stuff is all specific, and your set-piece is over within one phase. But your general play, if you can have all of your principles around that, what your shape is, where you're trying to go, and do it consistently. And in order to do it consistently, you have to have a good breakdown. So they're my big rocks. Is you get your principles of your defense, your principles of your attack shape, and your ability to win breakdowns. Well, if you do that, you can play a game of rugby, and if you're good enough to hold onto the ball, you won't need lineouts and scrums.
Is that first grade all the way through to third grade Colts?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, everyone. Yeah, so the calls that we were using in first grade and the shapes are exactly the same for third grade Colts.